optimization. Ants colony algorithm is normally used for finding the shortest path or the path for traveling salesman problem. Okay, but this can be used for optimizing the multimodal function like the one which you are seeing on the screen. The word problem the word file you are able to see. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is our function minimize z equal to 1 minus x1 square plus 100 into x2 minus x1 square of that whole bracket. Now how to solve this by using ants colony optimization. Ants is supposed to travel on certain path. So it is essential that we will have to create the paths for the ants to travel, right? So what we will be doing, we have the first section for which will be indicating the x1 variable and the paths for x1 variable, paths for ant to travel and represent x1 variable travel. And this will be representing x2 variable travel. Now, what we will be doing here, we are having various paths for ant to travel. One path that is shown by this cursor, this path is depicting that x1 value is minus 2. This is the path on which x1 value is minus 2. This is the path for which x1 value is minus 1.5. This is the path for which x1 value is minus 1. And here it is 0, here it is 1, here it is 1.5 and 2. This I have taken at random. Or in this problem, we might assume that the value of x1 is from the set minus 2, minus 1.5, minus 1, 0, 1, 1.5 and 2. One of these 7 values is the value of x1. Okay, right? And one of these 7 values is the value of x2. Okay, right here, the value of x, this is the path which is indicating value of x2 minus 1.5. This is indicating minus 1. This is indicating minus 0.5, 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5. One thing you note here that it is not essential that all these paths should be equispaced, equidistant. Like here you see that there is wide gap between 1 and 0, minus 1 and 0, whereas the gap between minus 2 and minus 1.5 is that of 0.5. Here also it is 0.5. Here it is 1. Here it is 1. So it is not mandatory that you should be taking these values as equidistant from each other. No. Okay. And whatever range you have taken here, it is not mandatory, it is not essential that same range you will be taking here. x2 might be ranging from minus 1.5 to 1.5 and x1 might be ranging from minus 2 to 2. Okay. You may have number of paths. Okay, if your range is from minus 20 to 20, then you may have so many paths, might be 200, 400 paths you can take. Okay, I'm just showing here the small version of the big analysis which will be carried out in the computer for making you understand how the how the ants colony optimization algorithm will be handled by handling the function optimization. Now, in this problem, is network sort of, okay, we will be considering that there are 2 ants. Actually, 2 ants are very inadequate, very much inadequate. There should be about 8 ants, 4 ants per variable for getting the better results, okay, and faster convergence, okay. But for helping us to demonstrate I'll be taking just 2 ends. Consider 2 ends. All right. Okay, just a minute for making you see the things very clearly. Okay. I want to remove all these things so that the vision is wide. Okay. So we are taking just 2 ends. All right. And if you recall back from the Ants colony algorithm, we have to take some Fermat evaporation rate. These are some settings which will be active when the time of evaporation of Fermat will be coming. But beforehand, we have to set the Fermat evaporation rate. Okay, this setting is in your control. You may set it 0.3, 0.2, 0.5 even, but 0.4 is reasonable to set. Okay, Fermat evaporation rate 0.4. Okay, and on all the parts, we'll be setting the Fermat level equal to 1, as we did in our problem which we have taught to you in the classroom. All right. Fermat level on all the parts is set equal to 1. Now, the probability that the ant 1 will be selecting any of these 7 paths is 1 by 7. Okay, because there are 7 paths and on all the paths, Fermat level is similar, 1. Okay, so total Fermat level is Fermat content is 7. And on this, Fermat value is 1. 1 divided by 7 is the probability. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
If you have any question, you just ask it by interrupting me. Okay? So, are there any questions?
No, sir.
From anyone?
No, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
So probability of selecting any path is 1 by 7, because Fermat level, Fermat deposited on each of the path, as we know, is 1, and on each of the path here is also 1. So our ant is here. It is having the question as to how much it will be selecting, how much Fermat will be. What is the probability of selecting, which path it will be selecting? That question is there. All right. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Listening. Okay. The probability that ant will be selecting any of the path from among the 7 is 1 by 7. Now, which path will be selected by the ant will be decided by certain random number which will be firing. Okay. We are doing the analysis for ant1. Probability of selecting any of the 7 paths for x1 is 1 by 7. Okay. For x1, I mean this segment. The segment starting from this point to this point is indicating x1. From this to this is indicating x2. Okay. This to this is x2. So the ant1 probability of selecting any of the 7 paths is 1 by 7. So probability of selecting the path, the lowest one, -2. Okay, the -2 wala path, the probability is, just look at this. The probability is cumulative probability for selecting this path is 0 to 1 by 7. For selecting this path is 1 by 7 to 2 by 7. And for selecting this path is 2 by 7 to 3 by 7. For selecting this is 3 by 7 to 4 by 7. And I'm talking about it. Then 4 by 7 to 5 by 7, 5 by 7 to 6 by 7, and 6 by 7 to 7 by 7. Okay, so lastly, the probability of selecting this path which is having x1 value equal to 2 is 6 by 7 to 7 by 7. Now, what we are required to do is just to fire a random number. That is the random number which is fired is 0.732. 0.732. 0.732 means how much? This is 0.732 will be falling in between 5 by 7 to 6 by 7. Okay, 5 by 7. Just let me check what is the value of 5 by 7. 5 by 7 is how much? It is 0.7 something. All right. Calculator. So 5 divided by 7 is equal to 0.714, right? And 6 by 7 is equal to 0.8571. So your random number is falling in between 0.7, random number is 0.732. 0.732, okay, that means the value of x1, the ant will be choosing this part. 1, okay, x1 equal to 1.5. All these things, we don't want to take the blame of getting biased towards certain number. It is an ant. There is certain random number. Okay, we will be at all, if someone blames, he will not be blaming us for being biased towards certain number. There was a random number, there is ant, and because of that random number, the ant has selected this path. So x1's value is 1.5. Okay. Now, what will be the value of x2 for ant1? Again, the probabilities for selecting this path, that is 1.5. All right. X2 equal to 1 minus 1.5. Cumulative probability is still 1 by 7. Selecting the path -1. If the cumulative probability is 2 by 7. Okay, and for selecting the path with x2 value equal to 0.5 minus 0.5, the cumulative probability will be 3 by 7. For 0, 4 by 7, for 0.5, 5 by 7, for 1, 6 by 7, and for 1.5, it will be 1, 7 by 7. So again here we'll be firing another random number. 0.472 we have fired, and 0.472 means it will be falling in range, this one, that is 0.472, that falls in this range. I'm sorry. 0.472 5 by 7, 0.472, just a minute, point, that 115 by 7, 472, that is not 472, that random number I'll be correcting this time, otherwise I'll have to change whole the thing. That is 772. And 772, because of that, the value of x1 which is selected is coming out to be 1. Now what we'll be doing, now that I know the value of x1 and x2, these are enough for me to find the value of the function. By putting x1 and x2 in this objective function, I am getting value of objective function to be equal to 155. Okay. Simultaneously, the and2 is also finding its own path. Okay. And 2 is also finding its own path. Again, the cumulative probabilities are same for and 2. So the random number or the brain of the and 2 has fired a random number 0.317, right? So for 0.317 will be falling in the range 2 by 7 to 3 by 7. Okay, 0.317 will be falling in the range 2 by 7 to 3 by 7. So that indicates that ant will be selecting the path where x is equal to -1. So x1 is -1. Likewise, the after the ant2 reaches this point, once again there will be a question to ant, which path will that ant be selecting, right? Again, the brain of ant2 will fire certain another random number, and say for example, that random number is 0.149. So 0.149 will be falling in range 1 by 7 to 2 by 7, indicating that ant2 will be taking the path on which x2 is equal to -1. So all in all this thing is targeted towards getting you the values of x1 and x2, nothing more. As far as the starting journey of ant1 and ant2 is considered. Okay. So with this value of x1 and x2 both equal to -1, the value of f will be found out, and that is 400. Now, what is the use of these values of function? Now, what will happen? That both the ants will come, will reset their positions to this point. Okay, their first journey of both the ants is complete. The first ant has traveled this path -1.5 and 1. Okay, am I right? The path of first ant was -1.5 and 1. The path of first ant was 1.5. He came here and then it traversed this path and came here. The total total value of the function was 155, and ant2, what it has done? It has taken this path, came here and then took this path, -1 and 1. Okay, value was 400. Now after completing this journey, both the ants come here. Okay, now by this time after the journey was complete, the pheromone has evaporated. 40% of the pheromone on each of the path has evaporated, and some pheromone is getting deposited by the ants which has completed the journey on that path, right? For example, the first ant has traversed this path 1.5 and 1, and the function value is what? 155. So what is done? The pheromone equal to 1 upon 155 is deposited on the path which is traversed by ant 1. That is 1.5, x1 equal to 1.5 and x2 equal to 1. On this path, the pheromone equal to 1 by 155, right? And the path on the path traversed by ant 2, that was x1 equal to -1 and x2 equal to -1, pheromone in the quantity 1 by 400 is deposited. Okay, already prevailing, already existing pheromone on all this paths is 0.6. 40% has evaporated. So we will be doing pheromone recompilation. Okay, so here you see, so pheromone on the path, this side is dealing with x1 and this side is dealing with x2, right? See here, so pheromone on the path where x1 equal to -2 is equal to 0.6, and the ant has not used this path, so there is no question of deposition. Pheromone on the path, pheromone on the path where x1 was -1.5 will be 0.6 on 0, x1 equal to 0, x1 equal to 1, and x1 equal to 2. On all this, the pheromone will be 0.6 because ant 1 has not used. Ant 1 has not used this parts. This parts for completing their journey, right? Right. Okay. So just look here. Actually, there is certain little mistake here. Okay, I'll be correcting that mistake here itself. Okay, so as per as the no mistake. It's correct. I'm talking about just x1. Okay, on path x1 equal to -1 and 2 has traveled, and 1 has traveled on x1 equal to 1.5. So the quantity equal to 1 by the objective function of the path, objective function value of the path on which the ant has traveled, okay, will be added. Are you getting? Hello? Hello,
Yes,
Siddharth?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So see, 0.6 plus 1 by 400. Why? Because on this path ant 2 has traveled, and 0.6 plus 1 by 155. Why 1 by 155? Because on this path ant 1 has traveled. Okay, and the objective function value there is 155. Okay, so new values of pheromone are available to us. Okay, this, and now based upon this, I'll be finding the probabilities. Okay, how these probabilities are found? So what is done for that? The sum of all these pheromones, that is 0.6 plus 0.6 plus 0.6025 plus 0.6 plus 0.6 plus 0.606 plus 0.6. This is coming out to be much you just point that out. 0.6 plus 0.6 plus 0.6 plus 0.6 plus point, and this is coming out to be 3. 4.2085. Control C is equal to 4.2085. All right. So this is the sum. If you recall that formula in which we were having, there is little difference in this problem and the traveling salesman problem which we have seen. That difference I will bring in front of you after I complete the explanation of this problem. Okay. So 0.6 divided by 4.2085, that gives you value 0.1426. Likewise, 0.6 divided by this value will be giving you this probability of selecting this path. 0.6025 divided by 4.2085 will be giving you 0.1430. Likewise, all the probability of selecting that particular path has been found. Now, we'll be finding the cumulative probability. Cumulative probability, you know how to find it. Okay, this value 0.1426 plus this value will be getting you this. Likewise, you get the cumulative probability. All right. Same kind of thing is done on this side, right? So Fermat evaporation and Fermat deposition is found out on all the arcs. And the summation here also is coming out to be 4.2085. 4.2085 sum equal to this sum I have written in this column. That is wrong. That is not the sum of the probabilities, right? So by dividing all the numbers, all the Fermat levels by total Fermat level, we get the probabilities, and from that we get cumulative probabilities. Now what we need to do again, the same thing. Fire a random number for ant 1. Okay, I'm firing a random number for ant 1 on x1 side. That random number is 0.586, and I just try placing that 0.586, and that gets placed here in between 0.5708 and 0.7134. Thereby I get the value of x1 equal to -1. Okay, x1 equal to -1. Now what is the course of the ant 1 on x2 side? For that, once again I'll be taking a random number 0.312, and I'll be placing this random number in cumulative probability portion, and that get placed in between 0.2866 and 0.474291. So for higher side of the upper bound, I get the number equal to what is that? 0.312. 0.312. Just a minute. 0.312. I'm sorry. 0.312 is falling in this range. This time I'll not be changing it. I'll be changing the value of x1. That value of x1 now is minus 0.5. Okay, this value which I have written is wrong here. It is minus 0.5. Okay, and because of that, the function value, let us find it for -1 and minus 0.5. Let me find it. -1 and minus 0.5. That value is coming out to be 225. Okay, this is not 400. 400 was the value for something else. 225. Okay, this will be the value for the function value for the path traced by ant1. Now similar analysis for ant2. Again, I will be taking the random number in the brain of ant. Okay, there is 0.617. Now 0.617 I will be placing here in the cumulative probability side. That indicates that that is indicating x1's value, that is the x1's value is 0.1. X1's value is 1, right? Now x2 side, for x2 side and 2 random number I'll be taking, that is coming out to 0.702, which is falling in between this two, and the random number comes 0.5, and for this two value of objective function comes 25, right? Now again, if I want to, I have not carried out the next iteration, but if you think of, or if the computer wants to perform the next iteration, what it will be doing? It will be from the existing pheromone levels which are shown here, 60% will be retained because 40% is evaporating. And in that 60%, on whichever path the ant has traversed, for example, ant1 has traversed on path x1 equal to -1 and x2 equal to 0.5, minus 0.5. Am I right? So 0.58, it is, no, what is that? It is not -1, it is 1. x1 0.86. Just a minute. Let there not be any confusion. That is 1 only. One minus 5, value is still 225. All right, that is 1. That is 1. Okay. So the ant1 has traveled, ant1 has taken the path x1 equal to 1 and x2 equal to -0.5. So pheromone equal to 1 by 225 will be getting deposited on the arcs x1 equal to 1 and x2 equal to -0.5. Okay, and already there is 60% pheromone remaining. Okay, that to that remaining pheromone this will get added 1 by 225, and on the path traced out by ant2, that is x1 equal to 1 and x2 equal to 0.5, 1 by 25 pheromone will be deposited. Okay, so you will be having new pheromone levels, the addition of pheromone levels, then you will be getting new probabilities, cumulative probabilities, and you will be firing a random number, and on the basis of random number you will be finding the path selected, thereby the value of x1 and x2. Okay, by ant1, by ant2, had there been third ant, then you would have fired the third random number and would have found the value of x1 and x2. Like that it would have gone. Okay, so as your journey proceeds ahead, the more pheromone will be getting deposited on the paths which are having lesser function value. Okay, because here you see the higher function value paths, that is x1 equal to 1 and x2 equal to -0.5, the pheromone deposition is 1 by 225, and on the path x1 equal to 1 and x2 equal to 0.5, pheromone deposition is 1 by 25. So on lesser function value paths, higher pheromone will be deposited, and this is how, by deposition of higher pheromone by lower function value paths, by choosing lower function value paths by the ants. Okay, on all the ants then will start traveling on the same path, depositing more and more pheromone on the shortest or minimum function value path. Okay, so this is how the function. This is how the functions are optimized by using Ants-Colony optimization. This is again a robust algorithm because it also can be used to handle various problems in optimization. Okay, right. Now there is one difference in ACO which we are seeing now and which we have seen earlier. That earlier ACO was for solving the traveling salesman problem, and this ACO is for minimizing the given function. Okay, in that SEO, which we use for traveling salesman problem, the probability computations use one formula. What was that? That formula was the pheromone available on certain path multiplied by neta of that path. Neta was 1 by the distance. 1 by the distance of that particular path. Okay. Divided by the sum of all such things which are there in different numerators. Okay, that problem, if you see, you will come to know what I am saying. Okay, right. There, because we were knowing the distances of each of the arc, and that had direct bearing on the total distance, we could find the value of neta. But here, there is no direct bearing of the value of x1. Okay, we cannot relate the value of x1 we cannot find out to what extent x1 contributes in the value of z. There it was possible for us. In TSP problem, we were knowing what is the contribution of length of the arc in the total length of the journey of traveling salesman. That's why we could use there that formula of finding the probability. What was that formula? Summation. That formula was tau ij upon neta ij, tau ij into neta ij upon summation of tau ij into neta ij. Okay, for all the paths. Okay, so tau we are knowing here, pheromone we are knowing, but neta we are not knowing. Okay, the way we were knowing in TSP. So this time what we decided not to take neta value as such. Okay, neta was 1 upon the length of arc. Here we don't have the length of arc, even though we are having value of x1 equal to -2, -1.5, -1. These are not the lengths of arc. These are the values of x1 and x1, and these are the values of x2. Okay, and z is not directly dependent on value of x1 and x2. It is some processing on x1 and x2, then we get the value of z. So it is not wise to find the value of neta based on the value of x1 and x2. So what we did, not to consider neta at all. Okay, while we solve this problem. Okay, there are various versions of solving this problem, because I have been telling you that everyone use his own mind to solve this problem in the framework of the algorithm. Okay, he used his discretion in deciding something. Okay, so there we finish the Ants-Colony optimization also. Okay, understood?